Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Force here, and today we will be taking a look at the basics in a Game of Dwarves. This is a dwarf management and building game that was heavily inspired by Dwarf Fortress. A Game of Dwarves was developed by Zeal Game Studios and published by Paradox Interactive, and here in this game you must manage a dwarven colony, which includes finding and gathering resources to maintain an economy, and trying to avoid some of the dangers of the world, such as natural disasters, goblin invasions, starvation, disease, and just unhappy dwarves. Keeping your dwarves happy and healthy is really what a Game of Dwarves is all about. Of course, finding treasure as well. Finding treasure is kind of important. Alright, so there's a few things available in this game. There's a campaign and a custom game mode. Now, we aren't actually going to be taking any time to play the campaign in this particular video. I do just want to let you know, though, the campaign serves two purposes. First purpose of the campaign is to provide a lengthened tutorial, basically covering all of the game's basics throughout the game's campaign. From level to level, you learn new things about how the game functions and all of its different features. The other purpose of the campaign is to tell a story. You actually play the role of the son of the king in this world, and you're sent out on an adventure to find treasures and, I guess, become a real man. But for the purpose of this video, the campaign isn't really going to do it, so what we want to look at is the custom game. Now, with the custom game, you have a few options when you create a new one. You get to select between one of three level types. Now, don't freak out and say, oh, there's only three levels available. Each of these levels, besides the very basic room that you start out in, everything around that room is procedurally generated. So there's a whole ton of randomness that goes on. The only thing that is the same every time is the exact starting location, which is a relatively small room, but everything around that is going to be different every time. So you can choose between a small, easy grass level, a medium, normal grass level, or a large, hard snow level. Also, when starting a quick start game, you can select safe mode or not. Clicking safe mode will eliminate enemies in the game, so it really just becomes about building your colony and keeping them happy, but not worrying about any sort of combat that you might have to encounter. And then lastly, you've got the build enemy items. These are specialty items constructed by dwarven enemies that will be added to the world, so you can select if you want those in the game or not. That is the quick start. There's also an advanced option, giving you a lot more choices, allowing you to choose between the occurrence of events in the game. Events are going to include things like secret rooms for you to explore. So if you want more secret rooms, you'd click on many. Resources, how common the resources within the world are. Clicking on many means it's going to be, I guess you could say, easier, because the more resources, the more income you have, the easier it is for you to construct things. So for this video, I think we'll do the event occurrences and resources both on high. We're not going to click on safe mode because I do want to encounter enemies, and why don't we click on build enemy items as well, just so we can see some interesting items in the world. For the particular level type, I will go with the large snow level because that starting area is the most bare bones basic, and I think that that'll be a good way to begin. And you can also select influence trees, which will let you start the game off with some points into the tech trees for military production or research. You can do any one of these or all three of them or two of them, whatever you want to do. You can start the game off with some of the tech started. But again, for the purpose of this video and showing you the basics, I don't want that there. I kind of want to start off at the very basic level. So let's go ahead and hit play and take a look at a Game of Dwarves. Alright, so here we are at the starting room in the large snow level in custom game. So as I had just mentioned, every time you start a new game, whether it is on the small or medium grass level or the large snow level, the shape of the starting room or rooms is exactly the same. So I've probably done this about 10 times now, and every time I've started a large snow level custom game, the shape of this room has been the same. What changes every time are the placement of the various resources or bricks or ore or whatever you can collect from these little dirt piles, I guess I'll call them. I'm sure there's a particular name for them. You dig earth block. They're called earth blocks. So the various resources found in these earth blocks, or where the resource gathering locations are, that changes every time, as well as everything around that starting area. And right now that may not seem like a lot, but it's a ton. There is a lot of space above and below, as well as to the sides of this starting room, and that is what is procedurally generated, and that is what changes every single game. Now let's talk about what we basically start with here at the beginning. You do start off with a dining table. This is where your dwarves eat. You also start off with a spawning pool. At the spawning pool, you can queue up some more dwarves to a cap. You can see I'm at 6 out of 10 right now. So I have 6. I can queue up 4 more and they will come. They build over the course of some time here. Now when you start the game, besides the dining table and as well as the spawning pool to call in some more dwarves, you begin with some of the basic dwarfs that are known as dwarflings. Dwarflings can be specialized into one of 5 dwarf types, and those 5 are known as the digger, the crafter, the worker, the military man, and the scholar. I'm sure you could figure it out, but let me just break this down one by one. The digger, he is the one who does all the digging. He is the one who goes through earth blocks, and if there's resources in them, he will collect them automatically by breaking through them, or he will just dig tunnels to the side, above, or below you, trying to find basically what's going on all around this starting room as we try to continue and expand upon our fortress. The crafter, he does the building. He can build furniture and stuff like that to make dwarfs feel at home, which increases their happiness level, and the higher your happiness level, the quicker dwarf reinforcements are. You have the worker. This is the one who's going to gather your resources from fertilization stones, which we'll be looking at in a moment. The military man, he defends you. He's the strongest warrior. He does the fighting, and leveling him up can be done through various training. And the scholar, he is the one who does research for you that allows you to spend points in a tech tree to improve the effectiveness of your dwarven colony. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to take each one of these dwarflings and specialize them. So we're going to come out with a digger. I'm actually going to start with 2 diggers. We're going to get a crafter, a worker, a military man. And I think, did everyone go through? We still have one more, huh? I know one's just about to come through here. I guess now he just finished and he should be spawning in just a moment. With him, I think I will build another digger. And you can see exactly what you have up at the top. So you can see I've got 3 diggers. I've got 1 military man. I don't have a crafter. Okay, so apparently the crafter didn't go through, so let me click on that. Get the crafter going. All right, so now I have got some dwarves. So what I want to do next is, you can see my food is going down. There's a few different systems that you have to manage in this game. You have to manage your dwarves' happiness. You also have to make sure that they are properly rested and properly fed. Now when you mouse over a dwarf, you can see there are various levels. There's energy, hunger, and experience. You just gain experience by having each one of these dwarfs do their various necessary tasks, like have crafting dwarves craft, and have the warrior dwarves fight or train, stuff like that. Have digging dwarves dig. All of that gains experience and has them level. So these are the systems that you have to manage. The happiness bar, which is right up here, as well as what you can see mousing over a dwarf, the energy and the hunger levels. Energy levels are maintained by sleeping or resting, so sleeping on beds or resting in chairs, which we can build with the crafter. The hunger, you just got to make sure you have food, and you get food by doing the following. What we're going to do is down over here in the left-hand corner, we have got this little portrait here of our ruler, which is this guy right here. And the ruler is also what you start the game out with. He cannot die. If he dies at any point, that is it. Your mission is basically done. It's game over, essentially. All right, so what I'm going to do here is we're going to take a couple digging dwarves, and we're going to dig some spot. These particular tiles indicate that there is soil. And soil is where you can build a stone to start getting some food. So the digging dwarves, now that I've queued up these digging spots, they're just automatically going to move over. You never really take direct control of anyone. Things are automatically done when you give commands. So these guys are going to move over and they're going to start digging. And once they finish this, they're going to be able to go through to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. It's all queued up, so it'll all be done automatically. And you can see I revealed some soil there, and that's exactly what I was looking for. So down over here in the build button, which is just to the right of this, besides the build button, we also have the pivot button, I think that's the word, which allows you to click on an object to automatically open that particular portion of the menu, which I can show you after. It's also the research button and the quest log. Those are 2 things we don't need to see just at this moment. All right, so I click the build button, which pauses the game and allows me to build from 6 different categories. Those categories include furniture, workstations, decorations to look nice, paths, such as stairs, ladders, and bridges and doors, lights to illuminate, and defenses. So what we want to start off with, since our food is low, this is going to be a top priority. First thing we're going to go to is workstations, and then we're going to go to a fertilization stone. The fertilization stone, which after clicking on it, you go right over here and it shows you the resources it cost. It costs 50 of these stone ore right here, as well as 50 of my income. We're going to build that right here. You want to build that somewhere in the middle of a area of soil. So once I have queued that up to be built, it will be constructed by my builder. And you can see he's now making his way right on over. And he is going to build that. And then once that is built, we can go ahead and gather our resources around it, gather our food around it, which is the food is stuff that we will construct as soon as this finishes, and I can actually set that up right now. So we're going to go back into the build tab. Again, we have these 6 categories. Within the workstations category, we've got 2 options for food. There's food crops as well as specialty crops. Let's just go into the generic food crops. We click on that, and that's going to bring up the 3 types that we can currently build. We can build white mushrooms, lemon trees, and carrot patches. Now, on the icon in the upper right, on the lower left, it shows you what that cost. So my total gold is right over here. My total wealth is right over here, 350. So it says how much it costs and how much it feeds. You can see the next to that little drumstick, it's ×1. ×1 for all of these. Different foods types will give you different things. This one is also ×1 as well, the log plant. And the log plant costs different resource. You can see this is 45 wealth, and this costs 15 and 25 and 20. So I guess ideally you would just go with something that costs the lowest amount. I don't see why you would do this unless diversity is necessary, and since it might be, I'm just going to get a little bit of everything here. So far, I've just been basically doing that, just building a little bit of everything. So we're going to do that. We're going to set those up, and then as soon as this fertilization stone is complete, I can have a worker start gathering these and bringing food to the table, which will increase my food amount. Okay, so you can see right here, the fertilization stone, 0 of 3 workers setting on it. So I can go ahead and increase that to 1, 2, or 3. Now at the moment, since I only have, let me see how many of these workers I have. I only have 1 worker. So if I want more workers gathering food, I need to create more workers. So why don't we take some of my extra guys here and make a couple of workers. And then we can have 3 of them. And now all 3 workers will come and harvest my food, the lemon tree, the carrot patch, the white mushrooms. They're going to harvest the food, bring it to the table, and that is necessary to stop hunger. If your dwarves get hungry, they can eventually die. That will happen, so you need to make sure that you're always properly fed. All right, so we're going to actually put some more food around here. Just get a little bit of these things. And I also would like to continue digging. So we're going to go back up here and queue up some digging areas. There we go. Also dig a little bit around this section here. You have to make sure dwarfs can get to various things. If you are obstructed by anything, for example, right now, without this block digged out, they cannot access this fertile soil right here. They can't get to it to harvest it. They have to physically be able to actually stand right next to it. They can't walk through things. That's something I learned as well with the sleep situation, with the sleep quarters, which is actually going to be the next thing that we take a look at. So what I would like to do, let me see how they are for rest. People are getting sort of low on energy. It's not too bad yet, though. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build a side room, and we're going to use that to let our dwarfs rest. So I'm going to go ahead and construct a side room here. Set it to go like that. So they're going to go over there and they're going to start building. This guy, you can see, is getting pretty low on energy, starts to drag a little bit there. So the first priority that I always make, especially if I start off with low food, is let me make sure that I've got lots of food going. Let me make sure that I'm all set on that front. Make sure my what is going on? Why is he is not? I could have sworn. I have 3 workers already, so I can just leave him as a dwarfling for now. He will level up irregardless. All right, so we've got some diggers over here. Actually, you know what? Let me make him a digger. Oh, I can't yet. I need more food. Well, that's again food, guys. All right, so we're gonna build some more food over here. And the carrot patch right there. And these guys are going to continue to construct this. Now, this might be going a little slow for you, and if it is, I don't blame you. What you can do is actually hit this for fast. It makes the game mode go quicker. So everything will happen a bit faster. This also means that you're starving faster and getting exhausted faster, so you have to keep that in mind as well. Okay, so this guy right here. I already have the max over there, so I'm not going to build him into a worker. So those guys are all doing that. And they are sleepy. Look at that. So you can see his energy level has dropped so much that he's now sleeping on the job. Now, you will get some rest while doing something like that, but the rest is not proper. To get proper rest, you have to build yourself a bed. So we're going to go ahead and pick back up the build tab, and we're going to go into furniture. And then we go into beds. There's all sorts of different bed options. They have a couple of things. They increase happiness. They also increase the rest there. All these things are located right here. I can click on this one just to show you. So you can see there's the amount of happiness it gains, amount of rest, and then the resources that it costs. Let's go ahead and we can go with, it's kind of an expensive bed. We could get a couple of stone. These beds are a little bit nicer, give them a little more happiness, but aren't crazy expensive. So why don't we get a couple of these straw beds? Those would be nice. So we can set it up here. We click on the location we want it, and then we can drag around with our mouse wheel to decide how exactly it's going to face. And again, you have to make sure that there's room for them to get in. For example, right now there's no room for any dwarfs to get in that bed. They have to clear this block before anyone's going to be able to sleep there. So we're going to build a few of those. Food is still being gathered, which is good. Although my food is pretty low. And we're going to go back up, build some more bed. And so now that we have the beds here, they're going to start resting, and that is going to increase their energy levels. That is necessary. I'm going to have all this go along. I typically have been playing this on the faster mode. I just generally prefer it. Alright. Next thing I want to do here is start making sure that I can get some more food going on. Because it looks like everyone's still a little bit hungry, so we're going to go ahead and mine out over there. And actually, ooh, there's some food available over here as well, which I might be able to gather in a moment here. Let's go ahead and pause. Unhappiness is rising. What is wrong with these guys? These guys are sleepy. They are so sleepy, so we do need those beds to finish construction. Let me go ahead and actually queue up a few more beds after that as well, just to make sure that these guys can get all the rest that they need. And now, again, these beds will also increase the happiness. There's a few other things that will increase happiness, which after we get these things up and running, we can take a look at. Whoops. Get over here. And we will clear all of this area. So if you're wondering what all these different blocks are, let me explain them to you briefly here. So we've got a few different block types. This one right here is a silver block. This is increases your wealth. There's silver, there's gold, all sorts of different things that you can do to increase wealth. And right here, this is a particular type of stone. Now these various stones allow you to build different things. The higher quality items require a higher quality stone. So there's basic stone. I can show you actually all the different types right here. So there's wood, stone, and then it makes its way down the list. Iron, marble, obsidian, titanium, dreadstone, and dragon force. These are all the different types of stones. The higher quality items, such as beds or you know, specialty things that you're going to be constructing, those will obviously take the higher rarity of stone. Alright, so we're constructing a bunch of those. We do have those beds up, so people should finally start getting their rest. Oh, these guys they're just so busy sleeping on the job. I'm sorry, I'm getting these beds up for you as fast as possible. You guys sleep, you guys rest. And we're also going to try to continue to work on our food crop here. Do want to make sure we are clearing this area. And I'm going to get another, what we're going to do is we're going to build a few things here. So things will start to get a little crazy as time goes on. You really got to make sure you're on top of... we need more money to do that. Okay, so since I need more money to do that, I can gain more money by selling some of the things that I have. What I will actually do is sell some of the iron that I have. And this is done automatically. So this little button right here brings up the Hemfort thing. This is where you get more dwarves once you have the ability to do so. You can increase your spawning pool by paying 1,000 wealth to have higher access to more dwarves. It basically increases your supply cap is exactly what that is. And then also in this area you can purchase and sell different resources. So you can sell things that you have, just want to get rid of them to get some more money. And you can purchase things back. Now, what you sell them for, you get obviously less than what you purchase for. It's basically how it works in most things like this, most situations like that. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and place down another one of these fertilization stones. And once that finishes building, because my food level is pretty low. So, and I do realize that my happiness is going down. I took care of the rest situation. The next thing we're gonna try to do is just make them more comfortable. But first I want to get this. Oh, he needs to go. Does he need to go sleep? Is that what he's doing? This is ridiculous. He needs to sleep before he finishes that. That is that is ridiculous. Okay, get your rest and then please go finish that so that we can get some more crops going here. This is absurd. All right. All right, so let's go ahead and get some more crops queued up here. Gonna get a few of these mushrooms. And a couple of those as well. And actually, let me clear the area around here. Thank you. That's gonna happen. All right, so the next thing I need to do, the next thing I'm gonna focus on, once that is up and running, we'll have some more, some access to some more food, which will be good. Although I do need to get right here. I'm gonna get a worker out of him. And again, once this finishes, where is my constructor? Please go and finish this for the love of God. Okay, so now that that is finished, we can get one of the workers over there. And then the next thing that I want to do is try to increase their happiness because, you know, I gave them all these beds, which you figure would make them happy, but it evidently is not enough. The next thing I want to do is get them. I don't want to go in that room quite yet because there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff within those question marks. Those question marks point to point of interest. Points of interest. That is the word. All right, so what I want to do now is we're going to build a little tunnel over here, and I'm going to make a nice little sitting room for these guys. That's what I'd like to do. Actually, no, let's cancel that one. Let me do it, let me just do it over here. Let me build this. You know what? Forget it. I want to build it closer to everything that's going on over here. Let me extend it. This will be better. Okay. So I'm going to extend it. I know I'm all over the place, right? I'm going to extend it over here, and we're going to build a nice little sitting room for these guys. And the sitting room is where I'll be placing chairs. And that is going to increase their happiness, because right now they're pretty unhappy. So I can show you right here by going into this tab the various things you can do to increase happiness. So we go over here, and when you check these out, it's going to tell you, you can see the happiness again in the upper left-hand corner of the icon. So this chair right here, lots of happiness. So we're going to try to get a couple of those, I think. Ah, a lemon tree. That's nice. And also some spiders. Spiders are going to engage our forces here. The warrior comes over automatically to fight. And this is just one of those sort of random things. And I am really concerned about the warrior. Oh, he almost died. Looks like he just barely made it. He's gonna go eat some and that'll take care of him. All right, so the spiders destroyed some of my beds as well. This is a horrible situation. All right, so I'm gonna build a couple of chairs in this room. And once these get going, we'll have an increase in happiness. Okay, so we'll have a couple of chairs built. There we go. So he's taking care of those. And notice the happiness bar starting to make its way over. As soon as he gets off his lazy butt, gets back to working, we should be all set. Also gonna rebuild a couple more of these beds. Which bed was I building? Yeah, we're building this one right here. Gonna build that bed type. Get a couple more of those too. I definitely need another crafter. I should have made, I don't know, one of my something a crafter. But I didn't. That's a bummer. All right, stop. Build these chairs. What are you doing? Please build these. Oh, you're doing to that first? You're building the beds first? All right, I guess I don't blame you. You can see steadily my food is rising right now. And once again, once these chairs go up, we're gonna see that happiness bar start to climb its way up. Something else, the next thing I really want to focus on is getting some money. So let's put the miners to work and let's get some of these resources that we've got chilling around here. You can see the gold and the silver ones. These ones are all pretty clearly depicted here. These are the ones that I'm going to try to get the most of. Clear out this area as well, see what we can see over there. Put my diggers to work. I do have 3 of them after all, so why not, huh? So the chairs are up, happiness level started to go up a little bit because they do enjoy sitting. We can take a look at some of the other various things that increase happiness. Again, just filtering through these will show what the beds increase happiness. Getting another dining table would increase happiness. Why don't we actually build another dining table? I'd like to build another dining table right over here. So we're going to do that. I'm going to drag this down, and this is going to shift around where it is. There we go. So we'll build a dining table right here. Now this will make it so that anyone working in this area will be closer to the dining table. And actually these guys will be able to go right to that too. So that'll be a quicker trip, and that should mean our food should increase a little bit quicker. These guys are sitting, they're doing all the things, they're just going about their day. We can slow it up a little bit as well as we try to get our diggers to work in some high yield areas. So we got some silver over there. I would like to take a look behind here and see what's going on in this vicinity. So we'll get some plans to dig through there, and we'll get some plans to dig through there as well. Now that that is all queued up, let me fast forward this process here and get everyone to work. And I'm trying to make some money because what I want to do next, the next purpose, the next goal here is to increase my spawning pool level so that I can get some more guys. I need to build some more crafters first of all, and probably a few more warriors. So I'm gonna just go hunting for some gold right now, hunting for some wealth, and try to get up to 1,000 as quickly as possible. All right, we found a side room, and within this side room there are some spiders. Now, this could be a problem though, because I don't know that I have enough warriors to defend, so that I really hope that I do. Let me get my warrior here. Oh, we do have 2 warriors. Okay, so they're both sitting right now, they're sleeping. So we're gonna pick them up here with this little button right here, which is a teleport orb, and we're gonna put them right there. And then we're gonna pick it back up, and they will fight. So you can do this to get your warriors to particular locations, or to get some of your workers out of tough situations. That's kind of the point. And when you discover a new location, the warriors, they're the ones who want to go through and basically clear it out, make sure things are safe. And we actually happen to find another warrior during that as well, so that is great. We're going to continue to gather some high yield resources here. And of course we can dig down as well. I've only been digging sideways so far, just to extend, and I've really just been so focused on just telling you guys these various things. And our happiness level was climbing there for a moment. Looks like it's slowly going back down. I would like to get this up and running as quick as possible though. Really interested in, all right, we're gonna start digging down right over that location. That's gonna be our dig down, our first dig down location. These guys are happy, things are going well. Things are going really well. All right, I want you to continue to dig down. We're gonna change the levels with F and R. So I can make him go like that, and F and R is gonna go up and down and up and down. I wanna make sure that he's got a way to leave though, because if he does get hungry down here, he will starve. So we're gonna build a ladder, different ladder types. We're gonna build a ladder right here so that he can escape. As soon as he gets hungry or tired or whatever, he can just pull back, and that's gonna save me a lot of trouble. Because you'll just starve out, you know, that will happen. So I'm gonna dig this way, and I'd like to continue to look in this direction too. And then if nothing else, I'm gonna actually move downward even further. Okay, let me fast forward this. There we go. Let's both these guys over here. We get some more over here. I'm gonna try to continue to go in this direction until I have to go down. Really don't want to go down any faster than I absolutely need to. And oh boy, I'm silly. I am silly. I was just throwing stuff away there. Let me cancel this. So here's what just happened. I forgot my storage capacity. I am at storage capacity right now for the gold. And to get more storage capacity, what I have to build is more containers, basically. So what we're gonna do here is we will go into right here. We've got a couple options. There's chests. Chest in order to increase your storage cap so you can store more resources. Cupboards grant more storage cap as well, but they also increase the happiness of your little troops, your little friends here in this world. So we're gonna go with some of these cupboards to increase the happiness in addition to our storage capabilities. And where do I wanna do this? Let me try to find a nice nifty little location. Is this like necessary at all? No, I just, you know, try to build a nice house for your friends here. All right, let me go with some storage right here. 369. Yeah, we'll go with this. Okay. Got one right there, one right there. And I'm actually going to buy some more wood, which might seem counterintuitive at first because I am trying to get more money, but I might as well spend a little bit here to get some more of that, and I can build some more cupboards in this direction as well. Oh, don't have enough for that. That's a cost 100. Okay, so I can build some cupboards here. And so this is what you do in this game. You maintain happiness, you make sure everyone's well rested, and you continue to dig and build this world. Yeah, you can see it jumped up a bit there. 850 is the cap. More storage, but the more we have, it's now at 9. And to let me do this one more. Yeah, so I use these guys, I build all these different systems. Something else that I still haven't showed you, which I can do now, is if you go back into here, you can do two things. You can train the military guys, which will increase their level by building training posts. You can also go here to get a research table. The research table, let me show you that process. What am I doing? What am I doing? Resume game. Okay, so the research table, buy some of this, and then construct a research table. There we go. And where do I want to put this here? Let me put the research table. I can put it right over there. Do I got any good space? Oh, I'll put the research table in here. This is kind of a neat room for it. Research table, we can put right here. Okay. Now, once a research table is built, what will happen is we can have our researcher, which we don't have one yet. We can get a researcher. He will automatically go to the research table, and he just researches over time. He goes there, and a clock starts. And this, every time he does one level of research, which it doesn't take very long, you're able to spend a point through this research tree. And you can get various upgrades, increase the efficiency of your researchers. Your dwarflings gain experience much faster. Unlocks advanced braziers and torches. Allows creation of defensive structures. All dwarfs move quicker, and all sorts of things. Let's take a look at the final tier. All dwarves get better at their job. Increases the cycles of all plants greatly. Your walls and gates and doors gain hardness. Your dwarves do extra damage against bosses. So this is just a tech tree that it basically increases the effectiveness and makes your whole life while going through a game of dwarves just a little bit easier to manage. So again, had we had a researcher, which we don't have yet, but we could get one if we had another dwarfling, but I can't get one yet because I don't have enough money. All these things are problematic. And it just takes time. This game just takes time. You work your way through it, and you continue to go about this process. Try to maintain all these different systems. Try to keep everyone in your colony nice and happy while doing all of this as well. And that is a game of dwarves. Now, beyond what we're doing here, the particular goal of what this area that we're in here in these custom games, you have to keep digging and try to find. You must keep digging and try to find 4 crystals. So you're just going to keep playing and digging until you find these 4 crystals. Are these guys going to get too hungry here? This is going to be pretty close, actually. I'm going to pause as soon as this finishes. Okay, so we're going to pause, build a ladder, so it's just to make absolutely certain that they can get out if need be. I have lost guys before because they were in an area which they could not escape, and they got hungry. I mean, you know dwarfs, they get hungry. What are you going to do about it, you know? Dwarfs get hungry. Yeah, I think this game is really cool. I think it's really fun. There's a lot of stuff going on. It can definitely take a massive amount of time, but I really do enjoy it. I really do like it. And there's so much more than what you've seen here in this video. I mean, we will continue to go. We will continue to add upon our fortress, add all sorts of things. Again, I talked about the training with you, this research tree. So just to say it once more, you build the research table, and then what you need to do is take one of your dwarflings, which I don't have at the moment. Once I expand upon my spawning pool, I can call for more dwarflings. I use the dwarflings to make a researcher The researcher walks to the table, he researches over time. I don't know the exact time it takes. Let's just say every minute you get a new talent point. Sort of like that. That's basically how it works. And then you spend a point where you want, and you go along the tree, and you continue along here. And this is new every single game you play. Every time you start a new custom game, the research tree resets, and you go over and over and over again. I mean, these games can take hours, easily hours. I mean, we've barely scratched the surface, and you see how much time has passed. And I've been playing most of this game on fast mode, let alone if people were to play this game just at normal speed. I mean, just geez, imagine how long that would take, you know? So there's so much to it. There's so much depth too. The slider right here, this will show you, it'll bring you all the way to the top. And then each one of these levels is basically a row of new blocks. And you can see, you can start seeing our fortress right around level 5 and 6. The actual level of the fortress, though, is 11. You see, if I drop to 12, we don't see it anymore. So the actual level right here is 11. There are, on top of that, a bunch more layers. It goes up to 30 layers below. And then the width is fairly wide as well. Let me go to the top, and just to give you an idea, we can scroll all the way to the edge, and once you get to the edge, that is, I believe it gets cut off right around there. But basically, most of what you can see, I mean, that is really cool. And it's procedurally generated, so every time you start a new game, this is all going to be different. Where you encounter things, like we encountered that area with the spiders, that will change every time and stuff like that as well. And I think that's going to wrap up this basics look here at a Game of Dwarves. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I could literally sit here for hours showing you a full game. But I think we covered a majority of all of the basics. Down here at the bottom, there's a few things. So we've got the ability to dig. We also have the ability with this button right here to interact with objects. This will let you see, when you discover a crystal, it'll let you click on it. It'll let you basically identify various things within the world. You have the ability to move objects. So if I want to, say, if I wanted to move this, I could just click it up and move it wherever I wanted to. I could place it right there, but I'm going to put it back because I like symmetry. So that'll go back there. You can also sell an object. If there's an object you are no longer happy with, you can get rid of it. Large pile of gold, sell it. Oh, thank you very much. Chandelier, sell it. Sell these things. No one's buying them. Actually, we're above capacity. That's our problem. So we have to build more things, more of these, and etc., etc. Why don't I do that before we finish this video, though? So when you discover those things, you can sell them. They will get you more monies, and you then use those monies to build more stuff and stuff. And stuff and stuff and stuff. This game's pretty cool. It is really fun. It is such a huge time sink. Oh, I hope you have a lot of time if you plan to play this game. You better have a lot of time on your hands if you hope to play a Game of Dwarves, because this is it's just ridiculous. There we go. So the supply cap has been raised. Let me sell that. And now, finally, we can upgrade the spawning pool. And there you have it. Now, I have up to 17, so we can call in some more dwarflings. They will come nice and quick because my happiness is above the halfway mark. These dwarves are nice and happy. And finally, oh, it's been so long, we can get a scholar. In order to get the scholar, though, we need some of that specialty resource, which we don't have at the moment, but that is actually this stuff right here. So, I'm going to dig up some of this stuff. I'm just going to let my dwarflings do their whatevers until then. I also want to dig around here to give my guys another avenue to get down there. And we will build a way out for my friends here. What a cool game. I gotta say, guys, this is lots of fun. Lots and lots of fun. Let me see if I have enough of that resource now. I have 100 of that resource, so I can build a scholar. We will specialize in the scholar. He automatically will make his way over to that research table, and he will get to work. Beyond the now I could build multiple scholars as well. That is an option. Beyond the scholar, however, I think I would like to get myself another worker, and I will set him to go to here and start gathering some of those. And then I will also get myself another crafter and another warrior right there. And I think that is everyone. Yeah, that is all of the dwarflings. They are all set. I can continue to increase my cap. Next time I need 2,500 gold. In order to get to that, I need to raise my total supply. I do that by building more of these. Oh, there's so many systems to manage. There's so much to do in this game. It takes up so much time, but it is a lot of fun. Definitely getting my thumbs up here. A Game of Dwarves. This may very well not be the last of this not the last of this game that you're going to see here on the channel, because I really think this game's really interesting. I don't know if I have the time to play this game. This game is so time intensive, but I think I'd like to. I really do. I think I would like to, because lots of fun. Lots of fun. I think many people will enjoy this game. I think this appeals to a lot of different things. The management system is kind of interesting. I almost wanted to say it's like RTS-like, but it's not so much strategy. It is a dwarf management game, as it is self-described. It's about managing this colony, but that's a lot more fun than I thought it would be. I didn't think I would enjoy managing a colony, but this is kind of cool, kind of neat. Kind of enjoyable. All right, so our researcher has that progress bar went all the way up once. It's going through a second time, and with that once, we can spend a point. Let me spend a point to make the efficiency of my researchers better. Now he researches faster. Glorious day. Thank you guys so much for watching this basics look at a Game of Dwarves. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned in the future for more gaming coverage right here on the channel. If you like the content, please subscribe, and as always, keep watching and keep owning.